A single clay tablet from 4,000 years ago records a debt of 30 liters of barley, and that tablet might be the most important object in your wallet today. It doesn't look like money, no embossed seal, no shimmering metal, just a few wedge-shaped marks pressed into wet mud, but it represents the same leap of faith every dollar, every Bitcoin, every banknote depends on the belief that a symbol can stand for real value. Money, it turns out, didn't begin as gold coins or cowrie shells. It began as a promise, scratched into clay by someone who wanted to remember who owed them grain. Most of us imagine the story of money starting with barter, a farmer swapping a goat for a sack of wheat, then realizing that was impractical, so people invented coins. That's a neat story, but historians have a problem with it. No archaeological evidence for widespread barter in early societies. Instead, the earliest records of money come from the temples and palaces of ancient Mesopotamia around 3000 BCE. Scribes kept meticulous accounts of grain, beer, and livestock, all measured in a standard unit called the shekel. But the shekel was the coin. It was a volume of barley, roughly 180 grains. When a worker received a ration, the temple's record was the money. The barley itself might never move. This system worked for centuries, but it had a flaw: you couldn't carry a temple ledger in your pocket. So people began using precious metals as a portable substitute. Silver rings, gold dust, and eventually stamped coins appeared around 600 BCE in Lydia, in modern Turkey. The first coins were blobs of electrum, a natural gold-silver alloy, stamped with a lion's head. They were heavy, lumpy, and far from uniform, but they solved the mobility problem. For the first time, value could travel in a purse. Yet even as coins spread, the old promise-based system never disappeared. In China, under the Tang and Song dynasties, merchants grew tired of hauling strings of iron coins across the empire. A single horse could carry the equivalent of just $25 in iron cash. So they deposited their coins with a trusted agent and received a paper receipt, a promissory note. By the 11th century, the government printed these notes as official currency, making China the birthplace of paper money. The same trust that held up a Mesopotamian barley debt now floated on ink and fiber. Paper money eventually reached Europe, but it was always shadowed by doubt. When a 17th century English goldsmith issued a banknote, it was literally a receipt for gold deposited in his vault. If too many people showed up at once demanding their gold back, a run on the bank, the note became worthless. This tension between trust and panic defines the entire history of money. Every empire that debased its coinage, every hyperinflation, every financial crash is a version of the same story. The promise broke. Today, the promise is even more abstract. The dollar in your pocket isn't backed by gold. Since 1971, it's backed solely by the faith that others will accept it. That's a remarkable societal agreement. Your bank balance is a digital number on a server, which is itself a modern clay tablet recording who owes what to whom. And the newest form of money, cryptocurrency, tries to do away with trust altogether, replacing it with cryptographic proof and a shared ledger called a blockchain. It's an attempt to build a monetary system without a temple, without a king, and without a central authority. But the question at the heart of money has never changed. Whether it's barley, silver, paper, or code, we are all writing on clay tablets. The only difference is how much we trust the hand that holds the stylus. If this changed how you see the cash in your pocket, consider subscribing. I dive into a hidden story like this every week.